directly from the students of Airwaves Media. Bringing you news in and around Alma High School. You're watching the Airedale.
Welcome to the Airedale. I'm Destiny Wheeler.
And I'm Ben Mitchell, and today we'll be talking about how to stay dry on these floods, new things coming to Alma's downtown section, and much, much more coming up on
The Airedale.
Downtown Alma is timeless. Many of the buildings there are standing from almost humble beginnings, but a lot of them need an upgrade. Luckily, Sarah Nutt is here to share some good news about these rundown buildings and other changes coming to the area.
Downtown Alma is a popular destination for Alma High School students to get a snack at the gas station or have a stroll in the park. But recently, there have been some new additions to the area with more to come. Jim Fincher, the mayor of Alma, has some details to share on the matter.
85% of all these vacant buildings downtown have been purchased by two different groups. The good news is they are people that have the ability and the desire to do something, but they are planning on revitalizing completely downtown.
Additionally, 2 food trucks have been added, with 3 more on the way. Right now, there's one selling Mexican food and a hibachi grill. Lots of businesses in the area have received grants to update their buildings and services.
Alma Health and Rehab is doing about an $8 million renovation, and Pediatrics Plus is about to complete a $3 million addition just down the street. Bryant Preserving, and they're going to double the size. They're putting on a 3rd line of vegetables.
All of these changes, especially downtown, will start as soon as this summer or early fall. This has been Sarah Nutt with Airwaves Media.
The serendipitous Madam Dickens has won Teacher of the Year. Why did this happen? How does she feel about this? I'd be willing to bet that Ben Mitchell has a clue.
Recently, Miss Dickens has won Teacher of the Year. This means that she is socially considered the best teacher, either by merit of her actual ability to teach or by her sheer, unbridled likability and charisma. Luckily for us, we have the very lady Miss Dickens herself to speak on, firstly, what qualities she believes makes a good Teacher of the Year. Before that, though, what does she do?
I'm the instructional facilitator for our literacy department here at the high school, and so I assume it has something to do with maybe my leadership that I bring to my team.
And what does she think won her Teacher of the Year?
Honestly, I have no idea because I know what I do in my classroom on a daily basis, but as a teacher, sometimes you don't think that other people recognize what you do, and so it's just amazing to me that I was nominated and selected. I'm a hard worker, and I'm pretty passionate about literacy, and I teach 9th and 10th and 11th grade students and 12th grade students, and it doesn't matter the age or the grade level. Like if I needed to pull kids in here for RTI for something, like I'm willing to do that. So maybe it has something to do with those things. I don't really know why.
Knowing this, what are some of her core teaching philosophies?
My teaching philosophy is, first of all, I think that all students have the ability to learn within their own individual capacity. So that looks different for each student. And I think that it's our job as teachers and our responsibility to find the things that students are good at and to be able to highlight that for them and provide them with opportunities to extend their thinking and their abilities based on those things that they are good at.
We also asked her what she thinks other teachers should do if they want to be Teacher of the Year.
I think that it's our responsibility to advocate for students whenever they struggle with learning and making sure that we provide resources for them and advocate to get resources for them to help them learn better if they're struggling. It's our job to educate them for their own future so that they can be successful. One of the things that I have noticed as being a high school teacher recently in the past couple of years is that we still have students who have a pretty big learning gap with reading comprehension. Literacy is one of the most important things that any student needs, just because if you can't read, then you're going to really struggle in life. And so if we can just get kids to like a 7th grade reading level, that's a goal. You can make it in the world if you can read at a 7th grade level. So that's kind of my hills to die on as a teacher, I would say.
Everyone wish Miss Kimberly Dickens congratulations on being Teacher of the Year, and this has been Ben Mitchell with Airwaves Media.
I just want to say thank you to my colleagues and to the staff for nominating me. It is a true honor, and I do not take it lightly. I'm very humbled, and I appreciate it.
Go. Curtis Brown has won our momentous Staff Member of the Year award. There's so much more to hear about too, so let's take this over to Shayla Ritchie, who has more on the Mr. Curtis Brown.
Each year at Alma High School, they select a Staff Member of the Year. Staff Member of the Year is where they choose the best staff member that school year to recognize for their hard work. We talked to Curtis Brown to see how he feels about winning this year's reward.
Well, it's kind of surprising because, I didn't do anything special. I just did the stuff I normally do. I mean, it's good to be recognized for it, but it wasn't anything above and beyond my normal duties.
It takes many different employees to keep our high school clean.
It's a team of us. It's three of us, and we all work together to get the things done that need to be done.
It takes a lot of effort in putting forward your best work to achieve being recognized.
I guess just do the best you can, show up, and be productive. Everybody has things that we have to do, and being productive is just part of getting people to recognize your work.
We wanted to congratulate Curtis Brown for becoming the Staff Member of the Year. This is Shayla Ritchie with Airways Media.
Now is that time of the year, the one where seniors at Alma High School finally start to see what they've been waiting for, graduation. But what do seniors plan to do afterwards? Well, Louis Alexander seeks to find out exactly what they're up to with.
Well, it's that time of year when the seniors are leaving into the real world. Let's see what some of them have planned for the future.
After high school, I'm gonna go to college at Arkansas State University in Jonesboro. Go Wolves.
I believe myself full-blown ready because I've done as much as I can to make sure my grades stay in graduation-ready state.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of ready. I don't really have full-on college experience, but it's gonna be fun. We'll figure it out. I definitely thank Mr. Kelly. He's been my advisor, teacher for the past 4 years, and he's great. He gives you great lessons, great advice.
First, I would like to thank Mr. Farrell for toughing it out for all these years with me because he's helped me through thick and thin. And I would also like to thank Miss Katie, who is now Miss Woodruff, because she's also been there for me.
And then Mr. Tommy, because he's cool.
This is Louis Alexander with Airwaves Media. Thank you for watching.
Prom is always a big event for high schools, and this year was no exception. Here's Kana Jones on what students thought of this year's prom.
Prom night is a night of elegance, excitement, and memories that will last a lifetime. It's a night where dreams come true, friendships are celebrated, and where unforgettable moments are captured. We asked students what their favorite part about prom was, and here's what they had to say.
My favorite part about prom was just being able to go and experience what it was like, finally being able to go.
Hanging out with all of my friends. The worst part about it was my feet hurt 20 minutes in.
A lot of time and effort has been put into the decorating, planning, and deciding the theme of the prom. We asked students what they thought about the theme of the prom, and here's what they said.
I disliked that there was so little decorations for such a big room. Prom was held right there in the middle of the beginning of spring, so I felt like the theme was pretty fitting.
I know Alma proms, they go all out. It was kind of just like low and dark and whimsical.
Prom is a beautiful night filled with dancing and hanging out with friends. Everything feels perfect, but there are always a few things that some people would have liked to be different. We asked some students what they would like to be different next year, and here's what they said.
Tickets being cheaper.
I disliked that there was so little decorations for such a big room.
Beyond the dresses and tuxedos, prom night is about so much more. It's about celebrating the end of one chapter and the beginning of a new one. It's about cherishing the friendships that have been formed and the memories that have been made. Prom is not just a night to remember, but a night to cherish for a lifetime.
Safety is a major topic in schools around the world, and it's imperative that everyone is aware of their surroundings and what to do if they are put in a dangerous situation. Jace Coleman has more on this topic.
It is important to prioritize your safety both inside and outside of the school environment. Here are some tips to ensure your safety. 1. Be aware of your surroundings at all times and trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, it is okay to remove yourself from the situation. 2. Avoid walking alone, especially in isolated or poorly lit areas. Consider walking with a friend or in a group to increase safety. 3. Keep your belongings secure and be mindful of your personal belongings such as cell phone, wallets, and laptops, etc. 4. Follow the school's safety protocols and procedures in case of emergencies such as fire drills, lockdowns, or severe weather. 5. Report any suspicious activity or behavior to the school officials or authorities. It is important to speak up and take action and prevent potential harm. 6. Use social media and technology responsibly, being mindful of sharing personal information and meeting strangers online.
If something's happened to you, you call the hotline or have your parents call the hotline, and then they'll be investigated by Crimes Against Children Division or DHS. And then they get in touch with local law enforcement and work with them as well.
Remember, your safety is a top priority, and taking precautions can help prevent potential risk. Stay alert, stay safe, and always reach out for help if needed. I am Jace Coleman with Airwaves Media.
Freshmen and sophomores, you might wonder, what's the point of scoring well on state tests? Well, Alma High School takes the students on a field trip. Here's Abigail Spencer with a look at this year's trip.
Friday, April 19th, Alma High School students with the highest scores in math or literacy and the students with the greatest improvement from the previous ACT Aspire were taken on an all-expense-paid trip to Oklahoma City. They went to the Oklahoma City National Memorial and Museum and the Oklahoma City Zoo.
Regarding the museum, we got to look at all the exhibits regarding what happened. There were a lot of things regarding recovered rubble from the site and also the actual car that blew up. Afterwards, we went to a more lighthearted experience with the Oklahoma City Zoo. All just kind of broke off into our own little groups and enjoyed the place for the rest of the day before heading back.
It's the school's second year hosting the ACT trip, and they plan to continue it as a reward for hardworking students every year. This has been Abigail Spencer for Airwaves Media.
WADC stands for Western Arkansas Technical Center, and it is a program offered through UFAS. Stetson Goodson takes a look into this interesting program.
WADC is a program offered to 11th and 12th grade students throughout the River Valley through the University of Arkansas, and it offers main degrees for students, and these programs include
one program on the UA Fort Smith campus, which is our welding technology program, and then at the Peak Innovation Center we offer network engineering technology, electronics technology, computer integrated machining, and then we offer 3 healthcare programs: our licensed practical nursing, certified nursing assistant, and emergency medical technician.
To join WADC, you need to sign up through your school counselors to have it put on your schedule, and you need to submit a concurrent application to UFAS. And the requirements for WADC are:
All of our programs require a 2.0 GPA for your high school. Our LPM program also requires that you have a 19 ACT in English, reading, and math. We will also look at your Aspire scores, which this year I know you're taking the Atlas test, so we'll also look at the Atlas. Or you can take the AccuPlacer, which is a placement exam.
And Asanzal would like students to know that WADC is a great opportunity for students to get ahead on the careers they are striving for. This has been Stetson Goodson from Airwaves Media, reporting on WADC.
What do athletic trainers do? I mean, who are they even? What are they looking for next year? Well, Chris French and Carter Downs are willing and able to tell us all about these cool group students.
Athletic trainers are an important part of the sports programs here at Alma High School, as they help Miss Patty with any injuries the players may receive while playing their sport. We spoke to Zach Millsap and Eric Johnson about what they learn and their experience in the class.
What we're learning throughout HOSA is basically what type of injuries happen where, how does that injury happen, and then we learn about the history to determine how bad the injury is and how bad the injury could be, and then we also learn about how to prevent it in the future and how to treat it as well.
Athletic trainers need to know how to treat the injuries that athletes obtain. Here are some of the injuries they learn how to treat.
We've dealt with all kinds from ACL tears, MCLs, a lot with the knee, ankle sprains, ligaments being on the ankle, clavicles being broken, some bad shoulders here and there, a lot of different concussions and different symptoms that, go along with those. And, it's always something new every day. And
This has been Carter Downs and Chris French with Airwaves Media.
As you might know, flooding seems to be quite the problem in Alma currently, but what can we do when water levels seem higher than before? Peyton C. Phillips is here to tell us how to stay dry this season.
If you haven't noticed, it's gotten a bit rainier recently. But what could this mean exactly? Well, with severe weather seeming to stir trouble up in the spring, severe storms could also cause some bodies of water to be higher than they should be.
Flash flooding has proven to be more deadly in this area than anything else, at least over the last 10 or 20 years.
Flooding can destroy homes and cause a terrible amount of damage towards people's houses. It can affect people who have basements and ground level floors. The aftermath can cause mildew and mold to start in people's basements and buildings. To be safe from hazardous areas that tend to flood is to make sure to stay elevated and avoid flood zones if possible. This is Peyton C. Phillips from Airwaves Media.
During the summer, most high school students start to begin to look for summer jobs to start making money for themselves. Here is Joshua Wagley with information on what employers are looking for.
Among the heat of summer, opportunities sizzle for eager job seekers. From bustling cafes to scenic parks, the hunt for the perfect summer gig is on, with youths and professionals alike vying for coveted positions. I will help give some tips, some opinions, and show students what employers are looking for to help them get a summer job.
So what I'm looking for is kind of open availability. We need to be able to work weekends, just kind of a self-starter, because a lot of the times the morning managers aren't going to be there, so I'm going to need some people who can get after it by themselves. They'll have one supervisor at night, so just work well with others kind of thing. So that's really it.
According to Statistica.com, during 2022, around 20.3% of teenagers between the ages of 16 and 19 were employees while enrolled at a school in the United States.
I kind of like people who are more outgoing because we have I'd say an older customer base, and older people, they like kids talking to them. And
for Airwaves Media, I am Joshua Wagley.
Everyone's well aware of how dangerous alcohol can be, but do they know just how dangerous it could be if a teenager got their hands on some, or worse, drinks it? Well, let's turn to Hunter Cole, who will tell you some of the social and physical dangers.
Most people correlate April with green grass and growing flowers. However, it is also National Alcohol Awareness Month. Alcohol is dangerous to everyone, but it can be even worse when a teenager drinks alcohol. So, let's find out how alcohol can affect a teenager's life with Miss Moore.
Alcohol mainly interferes with brain function and the communication between different synapses in your brain that affect speech and memory and balance and mainly decision making. So too much alcohol, or any alcohol at all, can affect a teenager's brain negatively, and teenagers are actually more susceptible than adults to negative effects of alcohol because their brains are still developing. So large amounts of alcohol can actually stunt development in your brain and not allow those synapses and those dendrites and all of the things in the brain to grow like they're supposed to, so that you reach full functioning in adulthood.
When someone drinks too much, they become inebriated, or in other words, drunk. Being inebriated consists of judgment, balance, and awareness being off-put. So, what should a teenager do if they become inebriated?
The very first thing is, if you're inebriated, stop drinking, because again, excess amounts of alcohol can cause alcohol poisoning and actually eventually death, but if not, at least a lot of sickness that requires hospital stays. I would also say don't drive. If you're inebriated, stay out of any sort of situation where you're operating dangerous equipment, because again, judgment, balance, all of those things, speech, are affected by the alcohol. So yeah, big two things: stop, number one, if you get inebriated, because you don't want to go too far, and then secondly, don't put yourself in any situations where you're using dangerous equipment or vehicles.
Remember to always say no to alcohol. This is Hunter Cole with Airwaves Media.
Teenagers around the U.S. aged 13 to 18 play video games on an average of 55 minutes per day. This isn't surprising. JJ Stovall and Devin Reed take a look into what video games are most popular these days.
Video games are a popular pastime for many different people. According to Rivera, it is no surprise that 90% of Americans play video games. Now that is quite a bit. Let's take it to the halls and ask some students what the top 3 video games are.
My top 3 favorite games would be Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo, then Forza Horizon 4, and number 3 I'd say Fusion Frenzy for the original Xbox.
3/4 of all American households have at least one gamer who play for about 6 hours a week on average. How often do the students at Alma High School play video games a week?
Rainbow Six Siege, UFC 5, and Helldivers 2. About 3 or 4 days a week normally.
Play at least a couple times a week.
This is Devin Reed and JJ Stovall with Airwaves Media.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Airedale. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow all of our social medias at Airwaves Media. And as always, go Airedales!